Alright, what we're looking at are players' decks for Torchbearer, and you'll notice they're still in their protective shrink wrap. Sharp-eyed viewers will note that there are differences between the boxes. And that's because these are two different editions of players' deck. The one I have here is the original release, which I never got around to opening because I haven't had a chance to play the game for real yet. And this one, which is the new release. There are some subtle changes. Of course, the box, you can tell, is completely different, as is the humorous price. Here that's billed as $12 or 1 gold and 2 silver pieces, whereas this one is, on the other side, is listed as being $15 or 1 gold and 2 silver pieces. Interesting. What we're going to do is open up both cases so that if you have one, you can compare it to the other. One immediate difference is that the new version has a table of contents of sorts on the back, whereas the original is identical on front and back. If that is not enough detail for you to differentiate which pack is which, the original is copyrighted for 2013 and the new one is copyrighted for 2016. Let's open the boxes up now. So, with a little effort, I was able to open up the bottom corner. The shrink wrap was high quality, and of course, it's been on here for quite a while. Okay. It's kind of nice, eh? So inside, this is what the arrangement of cards look like. There are these two larger cards in red, which had dungeon maps on them, or city maps or whatever, with a description on the back. And then there are the actual cards themselves. So we're separating the cards into 3 different sections by these two. We'll open up the new one and do our comparison from there. Let's see if it will be as difficult to get this shrink wrap off. Now this box is self-contained, so a folding flap keeps everything in place. It's described as a more durable box, so I'm kind of curious about how that was determined. But I find that opening boxes like this puts a lot of stress on the cardboard. But yeah. So inside here, all the cards are loose, not individually wrapped, and the 2 red dungeon cards, or however we're going to refer to them, are together at the back, and they are the same size as the other cards, so that they completely disappear inside the box like that. Okay, so all the cards are loose inside. Now, obviously, I think from a manufacturer's standpoint, this makes a whole lot more sense for someone to produce rather than having to print and then individually wrap and assemble these. But that said, this is pretty cool. Alright, so looking at the new cards, these are the new cards we're going to be taking a look at. They feel like cards. There's a kind of a matte finish, not a like satin or glossy finish you might find on plastic cards or casino cards. So they feel like normal cards. They have rounded edges, not a lot of glare. What I'm looking at is the Warhammer. Right. And on their backs, some of them are like this. Okay. And some are double-sided. That's a very awkward way for me to hold it. Okay, that's better. Okay. So we've got double-sided weapons cards. And then ending with the battle axe. And then we have these cards. Okay. We've got, I didn't really tell what that's supposed to say. I'm thinking it's maneuver. Okay. And then feint. Defend, very difficult to see. Attack. Right. So looking at our table of contents, this is part of the 12 action cards series, which are single-sided, after the 17 weapons cards. Okay. Which then leads us to the condition cards. So let's take a look. We've got attack, defend, feint, maneuver, attack, defend, feint, maneuver, attack, defend, feint, maneuver. So there's 3 sets of those. 17 weapon cards, you say? Yes. Then we have condition cards. Your condition is dead. Okay. We have a dead, sick, injured, exhausted, afraid. How many of these are there? 8 condition cards. So afraid, angry, hungry and thirsty, and fresh. Haha. So if you compare fresh with dead, you get a good sense of the sense of humor of the cards. After the 8 condition cards, we then have equipment cards. Damaged, a variety of damage for different armor types, different helmet types. Oh. Then we have actual equipment. We have empty. Your water skin is empty. Your sack is empty. Oh, it's an empty large sack. A hat. Yes, now we're just into equipment cards and equipment condition cards. Light. I'm sorry, I should let you in on the joke. Okay, so we've got light. Dim light. Darkness. I can read it. I know that you probably can't at all. Yeah, maybe you can see that there is writing on there if I hold it like that. Yeah, so darkness. And then, yeah, dim light. That's awesome. Makes me smile. And then these are the backs of the dungeon cards. Right, the light again. All right. These are the new cards. Okay. 2 micro dungeons. Check. 4 light cards. Check. Has a light source on the other side. 4 equipment cards. Okay. 4 armor cards. Yes. 8 condition cards. 12 action cards. And 17 weapon cards. Cool. Let's take a look at the original set for comparison. Okay, so here we have, not really sure how many they will be. I'm sure it will be similar. We have a nice little pouch for them to go in. All right. So we've got helmet, right, and leather armor, and chain armor, and plate armor. These do have a glossy and slick feel, and as I've just opened them, they're sticking to each other just a little bit. Then we move into light sources, torch and candle and crossbow. So this is all a mishmash of gear and light sources and weapons. Right. So using a light card as an example, we have the same one I saw before, different art, right? It says light, you are standing in the light, right? And then its reverse side is a lantern. Okay. And then we have candle. Right. And on the back of candle, we again have our darkness, but this darkness is much more readable as you can see. And then our dim light. Right. So that's what's in the first sleeve, is a mix of those things. So shield is here, sword is here, spear, the battle axe, the warhammer, the mace, hand axe, your light sources, crossbow, the condition cards for your armor, right? Helmet is damaged, leather armor is damaged, that sort of thing. Your chain armor is damaged. Right, so chain armor on one side and damaged on the other. Okay. Battle axe. Battle axe. Okay. Then the action cards are individually wrapped, and it's listed action deck. Was that true here? These are all double-sided. Then we get to the actions, and no, it's just the image. I wasn't misremembering. So take out the action deck and see if there are any differences that we can spot. One, two, three attacks together. Then defend is the same way. The text is behind the image. So we've got defend, 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 then feint, 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 and then maneuver, maneuver, maneuver. And each card, as you can see, if you fan them out, they each have the first letter of whatever action they are on them. So it's pretty easy to sort through. They're very nice feeling cards. And then the last part then will be the condition cards. There we have this happy person all fresh, and then we have our much less fresh person on the back. Let's take these out. It's going to be a very long video with a lot of silence in it. So we got fresh, and we've got hungry and thirsty. And we have angry and afraid. A lot of different, wow, injured. She's really beat to pieces. Injured, sick, and dead. Okay. So we have a lot of different faces spread out across these cards. So we've got fresh lady and fresh man. And we have hungry guy and hungry elf, right? And so on as we go through. All right. And how does that compare to these condition cards? Pretty much exactly the same. Yes. Okay. a lot of different faces represented. The cards are color-coded around the edge so that they're easier to find. Why else would you color-code something? All right, so that's our quick comparison of the sets. Let's go through again. The sizes of the old and new cards. The new cards are ever so slightly larger. All right. The finish on the cards is slightly different. And again, these are very slight. So we've got rounded edge, almost a matte finish, much more of a glossy finish. And other than that, the cards, other than the way that they are put in the box, are exactly the same. Okay, well, I hope this double unboxing has been useful. The original Player's Deck, of course, now they're gone. And if you're going to order now, if you're going to start playing Torchbearer now, this is what you're going to get. If you're worried about a significant quality difference between them, you can lay those fears to rest. They are the same size. They are of similar quality. They contain the same information, and this deck has more cards. So it's really nothing to be concerned about there. While the original box was definitely very cool, obviously from a production standpoint, it has a lot of negatives for a small publisher to have to maintain. All right. Products like these, I hope we'll see more of in the future. They certainly not only just add to the ease with which information can be tracked and maintained, but also allow us to step away from actually having to state a lot of game information as players across the table to each other. If with a simple glance you can see what the light condition is, then you don't really need to ask about it. So, handy. All right. Anyway, I hope this has been of some use, and thank you for watching.